Sunday, more than 1,100 voting centers opened in Venezuela for the electoral simulation that is currently taking place. In this way, Elvia Moroso, president of the National Electoral Council, detailed that more than 21 million voters are able to go to the nearest center to familiarize themselves with the voting system. On the other hand, Amoroso denounced that some presidential candidates do not recognize Sunday's simulation regarding the Constitution and the electoral laws. In addition, Amoroso invited citizens and international observers to participate in this event, which is part of the electoral calendar. Let's go once again live to Caracas with our correspondent Gladys Quesada for more of what is happening today in Venezuela.
Hello, Luis. Thanks for the time and once again the contact here for you, for the audience of teleSUR English and from the South. Yes, currently it's midday here in Venezuela, it's midday in all Caracas, and the people are still gathering and are still coming here to the voting centers to take part in this electoral drill, this voting drill that is being held today, June the 30th, a Sunday that is sunny in Venezuela, but the people have not taken a step back. They have not been holding back to come here and to gather and come and vote in. Recently, we had the presence of the Vice President of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, because this is her voting center. She is registered to exercise her right to vote here in this college in Padre Mendoza. This is the parish El Valle, one of the most populated parishes in all Caracas. So she came here, she voted, and she also said to all the Venezuelans that she is encouraging people to come and vote, because voting is the first and foremost way to prove the transparency and to prove the efficacy of any mechanism in order to vote. Also, she was telling that despite all the narratives that have been constructed by international media and the right-wing media here in the country, the people is proving otherwise. The people is proving that there are democracy, there is also the right to come and vote freely by all Venezuelans. Here in Caracas, we have been saying that, we have been stressing, this is the part, or the capital district is the zone with more voting centers and voting machines set up aside from other sides of the country, other regions. But today, over 21 million of Venezuelans are coming to the voting centers and the voting stations. One of the characteristics of today is that this is a process that, as we have been stressing and saying and repeating, this is a process that is ensuring the efficiency and the efficacy of the people and the voting machines and all the protocols. You are listening to music. We want to show you that all the colors, all the lines, because people is coming in here with their families. We have been saying that. They have been coming in here with the elderly, with the kids, in groups, in families, with their neighbors. And this, more than just a voting day, more than just a mandatory activity, this is one of the festivities for Venezuelan people. This is one joyful day for Venezuelan democracy. And today, despite the sun, despite the possible rain, despite maybe the heat, and despite that this is just a drill, this is an essay, this is an exercise that has no formal or abiding outcome, this is one of the many days that people is still coming and lining up to come and vote. You can see all the line that goes straight up to the corner, and in the other side there is also a line. My cameraman is taking the images and providing that to you. You can see all the people that is gathering in other line, and you can see the children and the elderly and everyone. Also, today is not only a day for voting, it's also a day to ensure the transparency of the system, but also the efficacy of the methods for people to come and vote, because here in Venezuela, everyone can come and vote and they will receive assistance and they will receive help. People with disabilities, with physical conditions, elderly that have mobility issues, they all can come here and can gather and also exercise the right to vote. This is foremost, and you know, an overview what is happening and still going on in Venezuela. And as we are seeing this large turnout, it is possible that this is going to be be the same landscape for the afternoon time, for other hours. So this is the information so far. Let's recall all the candidates have been nominated. They are in the ballot, and today people are just adjusting the machine. They are just seeing this preview ahead of the July 28th presidential elections. So far, Luis, this is what we have. If you have any questions, if you have to tell me something.
Gladys, yes, I have a question. In your opinion, how important is this electoral drill, this voting exercise that is being putting in evidence the strength of Venezuelan democracy in the face of the narrative that they have been trying to impose from Western media to disregard this electoral process? And we have seen during the morning that members of the opposition, presidential candidates of the opposition, have come to vote or to take part in this drill and have
receptive, or not all of them have been that supportive of this exercise. And those candidates for the far right, the extreme radical right, alongside maybe other narratives constructed from outside Venezuela with the support of international Western media and, right-wing media, they have been saying that people in Venezuela do not support, do not condone the process of the elections, and also because they say that Venezuelans do not believe in the institutions and do not believe in mechanisms. And I want to tell you something. This is one of the many showcases of support, and maybe one of the many showcases of the people not only being on the side of one candidate or the other, but believing in their own rights, in their own mechanisms, in their own institutions. And foremost, I want to say to our audience, this is not a day to take part for one party or the other. This is one day of peace, because no matter from where you are or where you are preferring in the political landscape in Venezuela, people is just coming in here to vote, to exercise their right. They are just acknowledging that there are institutions, that there is the National Electoral Council, that there are platforms for their rights to be held and performed and done and come true. So this is, I think, one of the many showcases of that, because if people would be afraid of voting or would be in discontent for voting, they will not be here. They will just be standing at their houses, because this is not mandatory. This is just a drill, and people is taking part actively. People is coming in here, and you can listen. If you have the surrounding ambience, you can listen to people just dancing, the music, the murmuring, and I was saying that the weather is coming in and coming out with rain, and no matter what, gathering and packing the streets and the sidewalks here to come and vote. So yeah, I think this is one of the many examples that no matter who you are voting for in Venezuela, you are voting for Venezuela, and you are voting for the homeland here for the people.
Thank you, Gladys, for this round of talks. We're going to continue with you in the upcoming news brief, but thank you so much for your report.